So the WNBA expansion draft is happening soon, and every team has already submitted the players that they have.
All right, so there was a complete social media meltdown for the Indiana Fever. Just after Caitlin Clark's draft attracted 6.2 million viewers, they deleted a post that exposed their complete draft method. Talk about horrible timing. For the NBA's newest franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, this couldn't have happened at a worse time. With the Fever being valued at a huge amount, they are trying to grab top talent. After the post disappeared, the Indiana front office moved into complete lockdown mode. Furthermore, with the protection deadline of November 25th drawing near, the anxiety is unbelievably high. Here's the catch, though. The roster list leak was a great surprise. One important player was totally overlooked. Many are wondering if this is the largest front office gaffe since the 20th century Alina Deladon transaction. Complete catastrophe.
The Indiana Fever might be making a huge mistake. Again, this is a might because you just never know. You never know when it comes to things like this because you don't know how players pan out. You don't know. Maybe you're overrating a player, maybe you're underrating a player, but it's always kind of hard to tell when it comes to...
Okay, let's examine the facts first before delving further into this entire mess. This draft is not your typical one. Indiana's expansion draft has the potential to significantly impact the Golden State Valkyries' future. As you can see, the Valkyries aim to assemble a talented squad for their 2026 league debut. According to WNBA regulations, current teams are only allowed to protect 6 players, meaning that all other players are up for grabs. This is where things start to go crazy. Hours prior to the November 24th protection deadline, the Fever's social media crew shared what appeared to be a harmless picture of coach Stephanie White with precisely 6 players. Poof. In under 45 minutes, it was gone, but not before astute fans took screenshots and exploded the WNBA community. Let's take a moment to discuss numbers. After selecting Caitlin Clark, the Fever's market value increased by 47%. Her jersey is the league's top seller, and season ticket renewals are up a staggering 300%. Clark was positioned in the center of the hacked photo, which also included Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Tammy Bentley, and Nalissa Smith. For TW, those 6 players amount to an at 46,000 cap hit. Here's the issue now. Grace Berger, a promising guard with a very team-friendly rookie contract, was left off. Nalissa Smith is also the subject of whispers from insiders. The locker room was tense due to her eye poke incident, that well-liked TikTok video, and the turmoil during practice. Many are seriously debating whether they ought to guard her against more promising young talent. This type of decision may haunt a business for 4 years, according to one executive. For Indiana, the timing couldn't be worse either. For the first time since 2016, they are making it to the playoffs, and attendance has increased by 60%. There is a lot of pressure to maintain that momentum, particularly with the Valkyries in the area. Furthermore, the Valkyries are constructing a cutting-edge arena in Oak with funding from Silicon Valley. They became one of the most well-funded expansion teams in women's sports history with their initial investment of $50 million. The suggested rules for expansion are harsh. It is only possible to protect 6 players. There is only one unrestricted free agent available to the Valkyries overall, although they can select 1 player from each current squad. Teams must therefore be extremely careful about who they expose, striking a balance between the Fever's future prospects and current stars. The stakes are really high. After years of reconstruction, they finally found success with Boston and Clark, but now they run the risk of losing their main supporting cast. In essence, the Valkyries were able to prepare their draft strategy flawlessly because to the leaked post, which provided them with an exclusive look at the Fever's playbook. Let's now examine each player in that leaked image. Caitlin Clark will go first. Surely it seems obvious that we should protect her? She leads the league in assists, averages 21.4 points per game, and has already shattered 3 rookie records. Even off the court, she has a significant influence. Since her debut, Fever game ratings have increased by 156%. Another past Rookie of the Year is Aaliyah Boston. Her 16-point post game is crucial. Her and Clark's pick-and-roll chemistry is tremendously captivating. Among the league's top combinations, Kelsey Mitchell contributes reliable scoring and seasoned leadership. According to team sources, they intend to use her important designation to retain her in Indiana even if her contract is in its last year. Her 18.2 points per game and 42% three-point shooting are crucial for team spacing. Although some casual fans might be surprised by Lexi Hull's inclusion, her statistics speak for themselves. At an impressive 92, she has the greatest defensive rating of any WNBA guard. Opponents only attempt 34% of the field, while she is the main defense. She is just what championship teams need in a glue player. This is where the actual discussion begins. Melissa Smith. Her stats of 12.4 points are good on paper. However, the off-court drama has been a continual source of distraction, beginning with a practice eye poke incident that cost the team a vital playoff game and resulted in a 3-game suspension. 3 veteran players requested private talks with coaches after her social media remarks reportedly caused friction in the locker room. Numerous sources attest that teams, such as the Las Vegas Aces, have already asked about possible swaps for her, and then there's Tammy Bentley, probably the most perplexing piece of this puzzle. Although she provides a seasoned presence, her numbers have drastically decreased since the middle of the season. In her last 15 games, she has only averaged 5.2 points and 4.1 rebounds, as opposed to 8.7 points and 6.3 rebounds in the first half. Her opponents are now shooting 47% in the paint against her, up from 30%, indicating a decline in her defensive influence. According to WNBA observers, this might be a prelude to a far more significant shift.
Indiana Fever, I would genuinely want to protect Grace Berger, because I think Grace Berger I think in the modern WNBA, Grace Berger is going to be such a...
What's actually keeping the Fever front office up at night, though, is this. Grace Berger was not given any protection. She has displayed moments of extraordinary skill, particularly when playing as Clark's backup shooter. In her few outings, she has shot an impressive 44% from three-point range. She also averaged 9.2 points, 4.8 assists, and a positive plus-minus of 5.2 in games where she played more than 20 minutes. She is viewed by league scouts as a future starting guard. Her powers were even likened to Courtney Vanderloot by one Eastern Conference executive, so exposing her in this way could, in all honesty, have long-term negative effects on Indiana.
5% chance the Golden State Valkyries select Grace Berger. She is young. She's like 24 maybe. She is a 6-foot tall point guard. She can shoot the ball. She led the W in 3-point percentage 2 seasons ago. And she's also can handle. She can pass. She can...
All right. So the analytics department at Golden State Valkyries front office must be practically thriving. These are former NBA executives who have spent months preparing for this draft. Several of them were with the Warriors. They used both conventional statistics and all the cutting-edge metrics to create this incredibly specialized scouting method. They also have a marketing machine that can make role players household celebrities and $5.7 million in financing for large contracts. According to a Valkyrie insider, they have already identified 3 potential franchise cornerstones from the group of players that are at risk. Let's also discuss money. Next season, the NBA's new TV agreement would go into effect, potentially raising the salary ceiling from $1.4 million to this implies that players will see their value, particularly if they are not given any protection. Berger-like rookie contracts have even more value as organizations attempt to control their cap space. The Fever may lose millions in future trade assets as a result of this entire social media breach. They appear to have just given the league's newest superpower their whole hand. Additionally, the fan response has been incredible. In the past day, there have been over 50,000 trending tweets about the team. Engagement on Instagram skyrocketed. The phone lines are actually jammed with season ticket holders. One fan group even established a change.org petition to save Grace Berger, collecting up 15,000 signatures in only 6 hours. A mysterious tweet that read, "Trusty, Indy," was even tweeted by Caitlin Clark's father. It received 100,000 likes before being removed. Do you recall when the 2009 dispersal draft cost the Detroit Shock their core? They moved to Tulsa after going from champions to barely making the playoffs. The Fever is in a pretty tight spot like that right now. A single error might ruin years of painstaking reconstruction. For this franchise, the next 48 hours are crucial. There may be more to this story than meets the eye, according to prominent sources close to the organization, as there are rumors circulating regarding potential three-team transactions involving protected players and signed European draft picks, as well as international athletes presently engaged in competition overseas. The removal of the article might only be the start of a much more extensive roster change. The whole WNBA community is anxiously anticipating. Will Indiana follow the list that was leaked, or was this a complex ruse to make abrupt last-minute changes? What became of the players who weren't protected? And how will they respond to such an exposure? The responses will influence not only the Fever's future, but also the league's overall competitive equilibrium for many years to come. There is no doubt that this expansion draft has become much more intriguing. Every team in the league is keeping a close eye on Indiana, and the Vokie's front office is undoubtedly staying up late to consider every scenario. In an attempt to provide their clients with clarification, agents are clogging up phone lines. The league will experience the repercussions of this disclosure. This whole situation becomes even more dire when you consider the historical precedents for expansion drafts. The stakes are quite high as the official list submission is due today. Every roster decision the Valkyries make carries a multi-million-dollar risk since the Fever's market value has increased by 32%. Behind the scenes, sports betting markets are also responding. Within hours of that article going viral, the 2025 Fever's odds of winning a championship fell from 800 to over 2,200 in Vegas. One important aspect, according to betting specialists, is the absence of consistency and clarity. Uncertainty is hated by the market. And if you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications.